All right, all right. Welcome, everybody. We are finally live with the live reaction for the Olympic trials. If you're watching here on YouTube, go on, or if you're here on Instagram, go on over to our YouTube. We are live on YouTube. We'll be leaving here shortly. So if you would like to catch the live show, go on over to YouTube if you want to catch the live show. We're going to be zooming out of here very quickly. So if you would like to watch it, it is on YouTube, Track World News. It is in our story. Go to our story and you can click watch live and you can go and watch us live. We'll be breaking down the men's 200, the women's 200, some craziness that we saw in the long jump. And all other things there. So if you'd like to go and watch, check us out on YouTube at Track World News and subscribe over there. So we're going to be signing off here on Instagram and we're going to be going on over to that account. So see you guys there. All right. Welcome, everybody. Wow. The 200 meters is done, and we've got some exciting stuff to talk about. So, Noah Lyles with the win sets the Olympic trials record, breaking Michael Johnson's record with a time of 19.53. The previous record was set by Michael Johnson in 1996 with a time of 1966. So big win for Noah there. Let's break it down. So there was a lot. That happened during this race. What is it that we want to talk about and where do we want to go? So I want to start things off with the Noah Lyles intro. If you didn't see it, this man came through with the Yu-Gi-Oh like card holder. Let me see if I can show. I don't even remember the name. I just remember I had it when I was a kid. It was the Yu-Gi-Oh card holder thing. I don't even know. It's the thing that you put on your arm. It was wild. This little here, let me show you what it looks like. It was this thing right there. Oh man, that looks like crap. You can't see none of that. But yeah, it's the thing that you like put on your arm, the sleeve thing. Yeah, this thing right there. Yeah, that looks terrible. But he came in with that on, because he's been doing the whole Yu-Gi-Oh thing with Exodia and all that. So I was like, all right, man, this is crazy. This is wild. But he gets then we're going into the race, and I picked Kenny Bednark to get the win. I like Kenny has been running very well this entire year. He obviously gets in on the Olympic, or he gets in on the with the 100, which was really big for him. And so I'm like, all right, so he gets in on the 100. What's he gonna do in this 2? Because the 2 is his better event, obviously. And so how is he going to react in this 200, and what's he gonna end up doing? And so I'm watching, and it starts off, bang, gun goes off. Kenny Bednark gets out hot. So Kenny is outside of Noah Lyles. So it is Kenny in lane 8. Noah Lyles was in lane 7, and I think Aaron Knighton in lane 6. So it goes 1, 2, 3, and so Kenny gets out. He's probably the best curve runner in this sport right now, and so I'm looking at him, and he's got the lead through 155, 160 meters or so. He's got the lead. And so I was like, holy crap. Holy crap. Kenny Bednark is going to win this thing. Kenny is about to get this dub. This is going to be crazy. He's leading through 155, 160 meters. He's going to get this dub. He was looking really good while he was doing it. And then here comes Kenny, man. Here comes Kenny. Kenny said, "No way, Jose. Am I letting you get that dub over me?" And he just snatches it. He just snatches it right out of the hands of Kenny. Let's take a look at the splits. So this is what we got through the first 50 meters. Kenny was in second place with a time of 5.73. Through the first 100 meters, Kenny Bednarik was in first place. Noah Lyles was in third place through the first 100. Christian Coleman was in second place through the first 100. And then through the first 150 meters, like I said, Kenny Bednarik was in first place still with 14.81. Noah Lyles is now in second place through the first 150 meters with a time of 14.89. And so through the first 150, probably to the first 160 meters, Kenny Bednarik is leading this race. And I am like, oh my goodness gracious, me oh my. I'm about to have me a pizza pie. Kenny is going to win. And then it completely flips. And we see that close that Noah has, that historic close where he's like, hey, if he's even on that race, like it's not, you're not far ahead enough. Like in order to beat Noah in 100, you have to be farther ahead. You can't just be even with them. You've got to be way far ahead. Like so he was at 14.81. Noah Lyles is at 14.89. You gotta be way ahead. So he ends up coming back, getting the win. Kenny Bednarik still set a big PR in the meantime. Like Kenny, his PR, what was his personal best beforehand? So he runs a 19.59, comes in second place. His PR beforehand was a 19.67 that he set earlier this year, right? So he goes from 19.67 earlier this year. What was his personal best? Because he set his personal best last year as well. What was it going into this season? Because going into Bednarik, Kenny Bednarik's 200 meters, his 200 meters before he goes into, like, while he's going into this season, it was, sorry for the wait, it was a 19.7, oh no, 19.68. He did 19.68 at the Olympics, and then he did 19.67. The 2023, he was at the 19.79. But that was a excellent. He's had an excellently raced season, breaking his PR down from a 19.68 to a 19.59, and like a tenth of a second at this point of your career where you're that low. That is a huge amount of time. So big ups to him coming in second place there, qualifying in the 1 and the 2. Noah Lyles also qualifying in the 1 and the 2. And then Arian Knighton bringing it home. Yeah, it would have been so great if Coleman instead of Knighton. Yes, we will talk about Coleman in 1 second here because that is just some brutal stuff for him. So big win for Noah. I picked Kenny to obviously win going into this. But he executed an amazing race. He hasn't lost a professional 200 since the Olympics last year, like a meaningful race, since the Olympics. So that's massive for him. That's a big one. So now, what's it going to look like at the Olympics? So Kenny, I mean, he's now in that. He's not game to play. Yeah, people say people don't come to play. So yeah, that was a really good performance. So I'm looking forward to seeing the Olympics here. Now let's get into Christian Coleman. So Christian Coleman, he comes in fourth place at the Olympics here, man, with a time of 19.89, a new season's best. He was first and second. He was first through the first 50, second through the first 100, and then he dropped down to fourth through the first 150, which is where he stayed. So tough for him. I mean, this wasn't like the fact that he even got fourth place in the 200 it's pretty astounding for him. I mean, that the 200 is not his race. Like his race is not the 200. And the fact that he was even able to come in fourth place in this 200, like, to me, is something to applaud. It's something to go about, because this is not the thing that he does normally, and he looked like he belonged in that race. And so it just goes to, like, he falls apart, or it breaks down, I would say, after that, like, 80 meter mark, right around that 100-meter mark. I mean, he was leading through the first half. He was top 2, and then he just fell down. And that's going to be hard. Like that's hard to it's hard to return from, man. So got to be a really brutal feeling for Christian. Like fourth place, the first person out on both races. It's not just that you're the first person out on or it's not just that you missed the team. You're the first man out. Like you're out of there by just a little bit, even though you probably knew that the 200 was going to be a steeper challenge. It still's got to feel brutal, man. So let's feel brutal. Let's take a look at these comments. It wasn't him. It was his brother. What do you mean it wasn't him? It was his brother. I know Noah Williams picked the Lyles to get top three, Josephus, which obviously didn't happen. So that was interesting. You don't think he's gonna break the 200-meter record? Why not? I think he could. I think it's possible. Constantly splits 17 today. Yeah, his splits were not great. I mean, his first 100 wasn't his best. I mean, he was in third place going through the first 100 meters. So he then obviously turned it around a little bit, but the first bit was not looking good for Noah Lyles. So Noah Lyles, Kenny Bednarik, Arian Knighton making the team. So now that it's official, where do I think the four? I think the 4x1, like I said, I think it stays the same. I think you go Christian Coleman leading it off. You go to Fred Curley in second. Then you go to Kenny Bednarik in third, and then you round it out with Noah Lyles. Especially the seat that you see Kenny Bednarik just ate up track on that 100 meters in the first 100, where he was eating up the curve. He was number one through this entire part thing. Like I don't see any way he doesn't get it. So Lyles gold in the 200 meters, and then bronze in the 100. Who do you have as the two people that are going to beat Noah Lyles in the 200 in the 100 meters? Love to hear that. But yeah, so it looked he looked real good, looking great in that 200. So I'm thinking it doesn't change anything in the 4x1. Courtney Lindsay, I thought he could have been. He had potential. He was a dark horse to get in here, but just didn't work out. I see the interview of him of the 977. I haven't been watching much of the Jamaican trials, I'm being completely honest with you. Like, I don't watch the Jamaican trials as much. Like, I've been focused in on the U.S. trials. I've seen the times, I've seen the results, I've seen what they've been doing. I know there've been some pretty big times that have been dropped, but like, it's not something that I have been super attentive on. Like I'll peep the results, and that's about it. Let's go on over to the 200 meters for the women. So women's 200, Gabby Thomas with the win. Brittany Boyd. Oh wait, am I looking at the right one? Yeah, Brittany Boyd coming in second, and then Mackenzie Long, third place. Going to Rio, Gabby Thomas 21.81, Brittany Brown 21.90, and then Mackenzie Long a 21.91. Just Gabby was dominant pretty much this entire race. She was leading pretty much the entire time during this competition. Just like no one was really even that close for her. It was just kind of she was leading this entire thing. It wasn't even up for debate. Sha'Carri came in fourth place. She had the lane violation in the semifinals. She looked like she through the first 150 meters. She was in fifth place through the first 50. Then she was in second place through the first 100, third place through the first 150, and then she dropped down at the 200 and just missed it. So she was right there. She was right in it. I mean, you're saying she was bad through her first 100. She was not. She wasn't bad through the first 100 though. Like she was second place through the first 100. 11:34, right behind Gabby Thomas, who's at 11:31. So like, yeah, she could have been better a little bit, obviously, but I don't know. She wasn't that bad. But that was a big one. So that Sha'Carri's missing the team in the 200 meters. It didn't look like she cared too much. I mean, her biggest, like her bread and butter, what she's best at is the 100. So it didn't seem like it was too big of a thing. But yeah, it wasn't her best performance. Gabby Thomas, like I think that I'm interested to see what we're going to do at the Olympic trial or at the Olympics here, because we just saw Sharika Jackson ran fairly well apparently at the Jamaican trials. Um, I don't know who else is going to be there. Like USA, we can't sweep. I think Sharika is definitely going to have somebody in there. So I think that Gabby is going to be our strongest person in there. And then we'll have to see what's going to be on like Mackenzie Long. I mean, that's going to be a long, like, no pun intended. It's going to be a long season for Mackenzie. I mean, she started running in probably like January, and she's had a lot of races on them legs. It's going to be a lot of stuff for her to, do that and then be able to be on the get into the Olympic final. So that's going to be a lot of races on her legs. I'm just not too sure how it's going to look for her and what it's going to be, but I think that she would probably be the next best bet in my opinion for getting on the women's 200 side. But Gabby Thomas looked great. She was dominant this entire time. She was in control. There's really no wavering or issues with it. She was dominating the whole time. So big win for her. And look good. But awesome. And then last thing, I'll just touch on the long jump a little bit. Tara Davis Woodall wins with the 7-meter jump. Jasmine Moore makes another team in both the triple jump and the long jump. She's done this for 3 straight times, which has been great. And Tara almost didn't even make it to the final. She fouled her first 2 attempts of the competition, and then put it together for the last attempt, and then eventually won it in her 5th overall attempt. But that was like nerve-wracking. I was like, what the hell is going on? This is going to be pretty crazy. But that ended up working well. So awesome. That's mostly all the things that I've got. We also saw Sydney McLaughlin in the 400-meter hurdles. She was like, yo, we're going to let it fly. World record is going to be broken tomorrow in the 400-meter hurdles. Like, it's guaranteed. Just signed, sealed, delivered. She said she's going to let that thing fly in the 200 meters or in the 400-meter hurdles tomorrow. So be ready for that. That's going to be something that's going crazy. And then the 100-meter hurdles as well. It is such a deep field. Lele Johnson, I think, had the leading time in the field, but it's gonna be good. Like, I'm looking forward to the 100-meter hurdles and the 400-meter hurdles as well. Tomorrow's final event is going to end right around 8:30. So we got an earlier night. These nights have been progressively getting earlier and earlier, which I have loved, so that I don't have to wait, be staying up so damn late. But we've got the 400-meter hurdles with not Shelly Ann. What am I talking about? Sydney McLaughlin finishing off the meet. So I'm excited for that. That's going to do it for us today. We will see you tomorrow for our live podcast. Noah Williams will be joining us. It's going to be our live podcast that we'll usually have during the week that we release on Mondays. We'll be releasing it live here tomorrow night. So be here for the live recording, and we'll do all of that stuff. So thank you all for listening. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I'll see you all later. Bye.